I am the box ghost. Beware!
Aw, that's pretty cute.
Hey, little guy. What's your domain? Welcome back to a Compendium of Monsters. It's Spectre Week. Before we continue, slap that subscribe button or this creature will haunt the heck out of you. Spectres are challenge level 1 and... do I really need to give you a reason to avoid a hostile spirit? Come on, people, think! These medium undead have an armor class of 12, average hit points of 22, a speed of 0 feet, a flying hovering speed of 50 feet, and dark vision out to 60 feet. Spectres don't speak any languages, but can understand all languages it spoke in its previous life. Huh, that seems super useful. You want to open a helpful dialogue with the angry undead? F*** you. Spectres resist acid damage, cold damage, fire damage, lightning damage, thunder damage, and damage from non-magical attacks. Spectres are immune to poison damage, necrotic damage, and the following conditions: charmed, exhausted, grappled, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, prone, restrained, and unconscious. You know, for a challenge level 1 creature, this list is insane. Compensating for something, are we? Spectres have the incorporeal movement ability, which allows them to pass through other creatures or objects as if they were difficult terrain. The only downside is a spectre ending its turn inside an object takes 1d10 force damage. The other ability, if you can call it that, is sunlight sensitivity, which is more of a detriment. Yes, I know, technicalities. With sunlight sensitivity, a spectre in contact with the sun's rays is scalded like a goblin venturing forth from mom's basement. Attacks and perception checks related to sight are made with disadvantage. For their only action, spectres have life drain, so they're teenagers with extra steps. Thank goodness these things don't have a multi-attack, or how many low-level parties would be screwed. This magical melee attack deals an average of 10 necrotic damage and forces a constitution saving throw. If the target creature fails its saving throw, its maximum hit points are reduced by the amount of necrotic damage taken. This effect is undone after a long rest, but creatures whose maximum hit points reach 0 are killed outright. Spectres are similar to ghosts in that they are the spirit of a humanoid that is prevented from passing into the afterlife. That's where their similarities end, because spectres are angrier and meaner than your parents on no food or sleep for a day. No parents? No problem! Spectres still are. Ghosts pass into the afterlife once their mortal business is finished, but spectres find no respite until their soul is destroyed. However, spectres find some small pleasure in destroying living creatures because those creatures remind spectres of the life just beyond their grasp. No matter how many of the living spectres may kill, they only feel hatred and sorrow for their current state. Sunlight sensitivity really puts a damper on a spectre's summer vacation plans. Is that why they're so cranky? So don't expect to find one out in broad daylight. Spectres typically dwell in their final resting places and emerge at night to go murder hapless commoners because, come on, killing is fun. And since incorporeal movement allows spectres to travel through walls, you're f***ed no matter where you choose to hide. Isn't this the best game of hide and seek? Hey, Squid Game, I've got a new trial for you! DMs. Spectres offer you a broad array of screw you tactics, and it makes them the fun creature to run, but not literally run because their movement speed is 0. If you throw a lone spectre at your player's characters, they're going to steamroll it and laugh in your face. Spectres can be safely accompanied by zombies or skeletons to even out the action economy and give your players something to chew on, though be mindful of the spectre's life drain if you're not trying to outright murder your player's characters. Spectres have an intelligence score of 10, which is average but not in a bad way. They're smart enough to figure out which player is going to give them the most trouble and will try to take them out. They understand the concept of traps and will avoid dangerous areas of effect that linger. Once a spectre joins combat, have them ride it out to the bitter end. What care do they have for their well-being? None. Literally none. Well, consider a bittersweet end. A spectre's death can be a great but short roleplay moment. As the spectre fades from existence, your player's characters hear a faint "thank you" echo in their minds. Of course, this is most satisfying if the party has some connection to the spectre. Maybe the spectre is an otherwise kind person whose loved ones were seized by a tyrant. The town watched the kind individual's understandable descent into extreme hatred and have made a tentative connection that the spectre is linked to that individual's unrest. Last and certainly not least, if you really want to overclock an encounter with specters, include a wraith. Wraiths can command up to 7 specters at a time and can use an action to turn a recently dead humanoid who died a violent death into a specter under its control. If your players haven't seen a wraith in action before, they're unlikely to forget a specter rising from what looked like a relatively harmless corpse. In this encounter, you'll need to be mindful of fireball eating into the health of all specters, and your players will likely focus fire on the wraith. Despite resistance to fire damage, the average damage of fireball is 28, which is enough to eat up over half the specter's health pools. Once your players' characters kill the wraith, the specters it raised don't disappear after the wraith dies because fuck 'em. Choices don't matter and everything hurts. The only real dangers to your specter encounter getting squashed are a smitey paladin or a cleric who has prepared spells specifically to counter undead. Players! Guess what? Spectres are going to kill you simply because you exist, and there's nothing you can do to appease them other than dying or killing them. With their ridiculous amount of resistances and immunities, packing radiant damage is your best option. If you have a cleric in the group, they should prepare Spirit Guardians and Guiding Bolt. Guiding Bolt deals 4d6 radiant damage when it hits, while Spirit Guardians force a saving throw every time the Spectres are within 15 feet of the cleric and reduces the Spectre's movement speed by half while they're in the radius. Any Spectres who fail their saving throw take 3d8 radiant damage if you're a good or neutral aligned cleric. If you're an evil aligned cleric, you just wasted a 3rd level spell slot. Sucks to suck. Otherwise, try not to get life drained to 0 hit points. Of course, that's easier said than done. Anyways, what do you all think of Spectres? Let me know in the comments below. A special thank you to my patrons. And thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, share my video on your Twitter, Facebook, or other social media, and make the leap to become one of my patrons on Patreon. I'll see you all next time.